XRP started off with a bounce. Now you're watching Bitcoin bouncing back up for the daily candle close. Bitcoin just closed above three critical price points. It was a resistance, then it started turning in as a support. Bitcoin is starting to show you that it can push the crypto market up just like that. Some of these crypto assets, it showed you that it can break to the upside and travel 100% plus move. Now you're watching, yes, they did break higher, they are grinding higher, it's moving back up. Look at the last 30 days narrative in those assets. The recovery here was quick. If you were able to identify those as short-term opportunities, just like the SI family, you had the edge in the market. Right now, the market is showing you a lot of different assets, some of them bullish, some of them extremely bearish. But keep your eyes focused on the market itself, because some of them, it doesn't actually look big now. It seems like they still have some downside. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. What we are watching in front of us is the Bitcoin. It showed us there was a bullish divergence formation. It showed us there is a double bottom possibility. And here we are watching the price bouncing back up. So these posts were made when the price was still below, still at the downside, giving you guys the right idea. So I was saying a bounce here in Bitcoin, bringing a move in market can help XRP as well. But it was a little bit the other way around. XRP went up first, giving some momentum to the Bitcoin side of the equation. However, if you do look at the XRP side of things, if you are looking at how things are playing out in the entire market, you're watching there is a big shift. So Sentiment highlights in the most volatile week, this has been the most volatile week since the FTX collapse. That was like 2 years back. Markets are ending it with a celebratory bang. XRP's bullish reaction to its lawsuit has led price gain. So now we're watching that the talks about XRP and Bitcoin sustaining 50K and trying to ride through 60 is taking it bullish. So the narrative is slowly changing. However, what's wrong here is Ether. It needs to come back up and break this level, or else this break to the downside with volume is still a break to the downside. You need to retest this and break back higher or get rejected. If it's getting rejected, that's not the positive story we want, because you may come back down to retest these lows close to $2,000. 2,100 is also fine, but that kind of a retest can again shake few altcoins. Some of them, they do look negative. Some of them look very much positive. So you are on the payment side of the equation. You look at XRP, you look at XLM, you look at the microcap payments. All of them show you same thing. I drew this for you in the Scientific Investor family maybe 2-3 weeks back, right? July, early July, mid-July. Now you're watching, yeah, you went up, you're going back down. Next, we want you to bounce off. Now that's a micro cap payments. This is like a medium to large cap payments, XLM. We drew this one to you. And now you watch, yeah, we went up almost exactly. We came back down, but not perfectly. You had a long wick, which was lower than I expected. Yes, by the candle close, you came back to the same region of support as expected. Now we are trying to bounce off. So what if XLM is going up like this? That means XRP is also running higher. And that's exactly where the RSI points your eyes into. The RSI shows you it broke higher, it retested, it's bouncing off, and barely, just barely, an inch of the price action in the RSI side, it will show you it's breaking through this moving average, taking the price above $1, maybe towards $1.5. And that's just the microwave structure starting. And you have 3 microwaves in the macro wave 2. Can that be much, much bigger than we all anticipate? Or it would be something like this coming up here. Then you go back down for a correction. Now, don't look at the time. This is just illustration of the price structure. When this guy goes up, it doesn't give you that much time. So after this, then you will be looking at the next 3-legged structure going up. We'll have to measure and see how high these wave 1s will form. And based on that, the projection to the upside would look crazy. Because the time has proven that the monthly, which is the macro chart you're looking at, is showing you the price is going back above the moving average and pulling the moving average to the upside. You're still at this range. The monthly close is like another 3 weeks. So you kind of get to see where we are heading towards. A break of this range would signal you a massive move to the upside. Now, yeah, that's all the macro side of things, macro side of the equation. But then when you actually take on the dollar, you're like, okay, we're still at that level of resistance. The support, actually. You're not breaking that to the downside. You wick to the downside, you got a bullish hammer. So the confusing part is crypto is now acting more like a currency and it's following dollar rather than going against it. In between, you saw gold was choppy. It's getting slowed down here and crypto is going up. So while gold was going up, crypto slowed down. And while gold is coming back down, crypto is going back up. We talked about this pattern in Bitcoin and it played out. It was 65,000 and then we came back down to that 49,000 reach. So the price action, the pattern, it's playing out. Identify those and use it for your advantage, especially when you're in the SI family going through all these posts every now and then with all these assets. You get to see where the opportunities are, you get to see where the red flags are, you get to see the divergence, especially whether it's bullish or bearish. Watching that before it happens gives you an advantage. See, the bullish divergence came in here and that was a daily chart. Now, it took what? 3 days for the price to move back up because that was on a daily. Yeah, the move will be limited because it's on a daily. But if it's forming on a 3-day, the move is going to be bigger. Yeah, it's going to take more time. If it's on a weekly, it's going to take longer, but the upside is going to be bigger. So when you do look at these charts, say Bitcoin, XRP, whichever asset you like, put them on the 3-day, put them on the weekly. And identify, or at least try to identify, what it actually try to convey. If it is trying to convey a message saying I'm about to go higher, which the XRP indicators are showing you, that the MACD is about to enter into the positive zone, the RSI is about to push through the critical weekly range, which is 60. You go above 60, it's usually the nuts rally for XRP. Now, if you look at the price to volume, you have more volume than the last candle, and on the weekly, you still have few days. And the price is already bigger than the last one, which is good, which is positive. But we have always seen that these kind of reversal signals and a retest happens. So watch for this. If you zoom in and see somewhat similar price action, and you're not able to break this to the upside, then Ether is going to have a lot of impact. It's going to come back up. It's going to retest this region and then slow down to this range of support. We talked about this range as the worst case scenario while we were back up here. Now we are there. The worst is over. For those who are looking at the downside, saying it's going to come back to $1,000 mark, think about this trend line and how long it has been holding on to. The bounce off should lead you into a touch and run pattern. Now, the touch and run in here would mean you're doing the 1, you're doing the 2, and then you go off like nuts. That's what you are about to see most likely in a 3-legged structure or a 3-wave format. Now, when you're back into XRP, I would also say, yeah, watch this. But at the same time, identify the pattern and go into the total altcoins. Now, if you actually bring in, say, total altcoin market, excluding Ether, because we already checked what Ether is doing, now you get to see there is a little bit of difference in here. What can you actually see here? It's actually easy. If you do look at this, I would argue that the price action is trying to make a bottom like this, which is like a double bottom. So your price is making lower lows at a time when your RSI is pointing you to the upside. That's a bullish divergence. And that level of bullish divergence, it is happening with a breakout, retest, and a bounce. So I'm like, okay, there's a lot of indicators trying to convey the message that, yeah, maybe a lot of people, they are looking at the downside, but as of now, the price is showing I'm still holding on to these levels. There was fake out to the downside, but I'm still holding on to these levels. And that's previous resistance turning into a support for the altcoin market. So it's about to start doing something. And the confirmation for that would be here. When you break above 630 billion in the total altcoin, excluding Ether, you will sit there and watch the price action riding. And if you're already positioned well enough, you are going to ride this positively. And if you want help in joining that party, identifying these things at the right time for a lot of different assets in the market, if this is what you want, this is what you're waiting for, then join the Scientific Investor family using this link in the description below. Guys, if you received value, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you guys on next video. Bye for now.